Welcome to GlideChat, where we give you the rundown of all things ServiceNow. Let's talk about the now, right now.
Welcome to another edition of GlideChat. My name is Ohad Kushner, and I'm GlideFast's Chief Delivery and Customer Officer. And I'm speaking to you from Waltham, Massachusetts today. I'm pleased to have you, Ed Shea.
I'm so excited to be here. I have postponed this for years.
Deferred, and finally the time has arrived.
Now I'm here.
So, Ed, what's your role at GlideFast? And tell us a little bit about your history here in the company.
Absolutely. So I'm the VP of Customer Engagement. I oversee two teams, our Customer Success team and our Project and Program Management team. Been here for about 5.5 years. I'm currently based out of Boston. I started out as an engagement manager here. Prior to even becoming an engagement manager, I never touched ServiceNow.
That's like everybody, though.
I submitted a request once for a ticket on my laptop that was not working. That was my experience working with ServiceNow.
First experience.
Exactly. But prior to GlideFast, I spent about 5 years at a big management consulting firm. I did digital transformation, finance transformation, working with a number of platforms, an IBM system that no one has ever heard of. But I traveled. I was that typical consultant, Monday through Thursday, every week.
You worked at Deloitte. I think we can say it, right?
Worked at Deloitte. Started out as an entry-level consultant, and I loved my time there. It was really, really fun. I met a lot of great, bright people, a lot of different types of projects, but really what got me at the end of the day was the travel. I was on the road Monday through Thursday every week, and it was fun. At first, it was great. I went to Denver. I went to New York City. I went to Dallas. But then it started.
It wears off. It wears off.
It was wearing on me.
My experience was very similar when I worked for AT&T. I used to wake up Monday, Thursday, take a plane. Thursday, come back.
Yep. And
it's after a while
especially you miss out on home life. I have a dog. It felt like you're missing out a lot.
That's right.
So I actually ended up connecting with Andrina through a friend who I went to high school with that worked here at GlideFast, and he said. David Tapia, actually, he doesn't work here anymore, but a legend of GlideFast. He said, you need to work at GlideFast. You can be a project manager. You'd be great. And I was on the fence. I didn't know much about GlideFast. I was coming from a big company. I had previously out of college worked for large companies. Prior to Deloitte, I worked for a big real estate firm. I also worked for Accenture. So my experience was always big company. Mm-hmm. So I was very hesitant. So I said, I had a conversation with Andrina. I loved the role, and I said, yep, we'll remain in touch. And I kind of went back to Deloitte, continued to travel, and I remember the day I reached out to Andrina. I was sitting on a plane in Dallas trying to get back home from a client in the middle of summer, and the air conditioning on the plane broke. Sitting on the tarmac in Dallas in the summer, 120 degrees. I was dying in the cabin. I sent an email to Andrina, and I said, I'm done. I'm ready to come on board. When can I start? And she emailed me within like 15 minutes on the flight, and she said, let's chat. I think we got something we can get you started up here in the next couple of weeks.
That's amazing. So let's just recap. The reason you're here is your dog, air conditioning breaking down on a plane.
Yep.
And a guy named David.
David Tapia.
All right.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And my journey started, like I said, working with Andrina. I started here in the old Woburn office.
Mm-hmm. Just north?
Just north of here. And it was so interesting. I remember my first 2 days, Mike messaged me on Slack, and he said, hey, are you going to come into the office? And I said, yeah, I think so. No one told me where the office was, but I'm going to come in. And I remember that first day. I came into the office. I met Mike, tons of energy, Pip, Josh, Bob, all in that office. And I remember sitting down with Pip, and he was, showing me space and showing me all these things. And he said, the first thing he said to me was, work doesn't have to suck. And I said, interesting. Okay. And he's like, seriously. Because I told my experience at Deloitte. I told him what I was doing, the travel, a lot of the work, the late nights. And he said, I can promise you work is not going to suck here.
And that's true 5.5 years later.
5.5 years later, I'm still here.
Yeah.
And it is very true. And I still hold Pip to that.
Yeah.
That work does not suck.
That's true. That's true. You lead a critical team for us here at GlideFast.
Yep.
And you're really at the crosshairs of all the interface with customers. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a dual role because you're dealing with customers, trying to move them forward and transforming and on schedule and on, and so forth. But you also have that awesome, or your team does the awesome responsibility of also kind of corralling the folks internally, making sure that they're on task and so forth.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about what the kind of the day in the life of an engagement manager at GlideFast looks like.
It's a tough role. Just off the bat, an engagement manager, within our ServiceNow implementations is a critical role at the very least. It is the most pivotal role on our project. They are at the crosshairs of all things happening on a project, from standing up and establishing the framework and the governance from both internal and external, building the relationship with the client, building the relationship with the project team, managing risk, managing the milestone, managing all the critical aspects of a project all fall and flow through the engagement manager.
And our customers are going through tremendous change, right?
Exactly.
There's a lot of cynicism that we face with customers.
Yep.
They've tried other platforms. Those don't work. Here they are given ServiceNow now to go and deal with. Sometimes the folks that we deal with are not necessarily the ones that bought ServiceNow or commissioned it. And your team really is right at the forefront.
And we have to shift some of that, right? We work with customers that come from other partners, from other platforms. And, some customers have that kind of burned feel, right? And they have to say, trust us. You're here with GlideFast. You're in the right hands. We're here to partner with you. And as an engagement manager, you're at that forefront of building that relationship and reestablishing that trust that may have been lost with another partner or re-implementation,
right.
Some of those kind of negative aspects of what we work with day in, day out.
And you really get one chance to create a first impression, and a lot of that really falls on the shoulders of our EMs, right? Our engagement managers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very good.
In my opinion, what really sets the foundation for success is creating that relationship with the client, starting to build the rapport, starting to establish that connection, because when a project starts to go south, and every project has a problem. It's how we manage those problems, how we prevent them from turning into larger problems. But having that relationship, being able to call your customer and say, "Hey, Ohad, we have a problem," or "Hey, we found something in the instance. Let's have a conversation and see how we work forward, and let's partner together on how we resolve this."
Agree.
Doing that with a relationship is so much easier.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it comes to your leadership, Ed, here, and what you're instilling within that team, and just putting our best foot forward every single day. That and obviously the rest of the delivery organization is what makes this company so strong, and our success rate so high. Right. We talk a lot about the triad of success here, and it takes kind of really three parts to get to a successful project. One is obviously having a great technology, and that's ServiceNow. Mm-hmm. The other is the customer, and the customer has to be engaged, and they have to be motivated, they have to be all in, and they have to be supportive, and they have to be proactive. And then the third one is obviously getting a great partner, and that's where we come in. Right. And we know how to work through sometimes when that triangle goes off kilter a bit, and just bringing it back to balance. And a lot of that falls on the folks that you manage.
Exactly.
You also have another piece to your team, which is the customer success management. And that's a complementary team, right? They don't get involved necessarily in the projects, but that is also an added value service that we provide many of our customers. Talk to us about that.
Small but mighty team.
Yep.
So they are at the forefront of our, we'll say, managed services portfolio, and really understanding and confirming customer satisfaction at the end of the day. They meet with our clients on a number of cadences that we establish, but really we're partnering with sales on ensuring that customer satisfaction is at the highest level. We want to make sure that the expectations that our clients have set at the end of the day are being met.
Right.
And our client success managers are at the front and center of establishing that kind of connection and confirming whether or not we are. And if we're not, we work together and we partner with them on resolving whatever we're not meeting.
And they're a great team. We just came back, the two of us,
yep.
and 600 of our friends from GlideFest, which is our annual conference. It's both a professional conference where we upskill our folks, but also a great time for team camaraderie and fun, right? And it was just great to see our team members all bonding together. They work on projects day in, day out over the year, and now they have a chance to see each other in person.
Yep. Can't believe that was just a couple of days ago.
Just a couple of days ago. Yeah. And
feels like that was months ago.
It was.
Actually.
But that's also a big piece of that, which leads me kind of to the next question. You've been here 5.5 years, as you said.
Yep.
what's your favorite part of being a GlideFast leader?
For me, it's the growth that I've been part of and witnessed over the past 5.5 years. You know, when I first started, I think I was employee 100 or so, give or take. Seeing the growth in what we did 5.5 years ago and where we are to get today and how we got there and being a part of it. That was one of the big reasons I left Deloitte was, you know, it's a big company, you know, very established, very, the framework is there. Being part of a growing organization is an experience that many don't have.
That's right.
So I personally was part of this growth. I influenced a lot of the process, the tooling, who we hire at the end of the day. And that's been my favorite part. And we continue to do that, not just, you know, ends today. You know, we came out of GlideFast, you know, talking about 2025, all the goals that we set, and yourself, I, my team are all part of that. And that's my favorite.
Every single person here too, right? Has a chance. You're not just a peg in a machine.
Yep.
Right? You're part of a 600-person family, and everybody has really the ability to influence and come forward and suggest and work well with others, work well with their managers. I think that's super, super unique here.
Exactly.
Right?
I have an open door policy. My team knows that. If there is something in our process or tooling that's just not working, or they see an opportunity to do something better, send me a message, send me an email, throw 15 minutes on my calendar. My team knows that. Yep. We get something out and reviewed with you, and we get that into circulation with the larger, you know, delivery execution.
And that's a nod to the camera here. I mean, if you're looking at this GlideChat and you're a prospective employee of ours, we call ourselves team members. Yep. You're not just an employee, but you're basically part of our family, our fabric. Yep. And reach out to our recruiting team. It's this sort of a culture that we promote here, and it's folks like Ed who lead our teams. It's phenomenal.
Absolutely.
So Ed, it's your birthday today,
yep.
Right? And out of this studio, we're going to walk out and have some cake here with the rest of the office. Yep. But I also must say, this is not your first kind of dip in media. Right? When you lived in Florida, I would even say you were pretty famous.
Yes. Not many know, but yes, I was casted on an HGTV renovation show. It's called Divided by Design, and my episode will be premiering in January.
All right.
Many had it recorded for October, but the show actually got moved out to January because of some production delays. But if you are a HGTV subscriber,
I heard it's one of the most watched cable channels, period. Right?
Yeah, I look back at.
Will we be able to even talk to you after January?
You never know. You'll talk to my manager.
Yeah.
Which conveniently is you. But I never thought sitting here on my birthday, I could say I've been on a GlideChat and I've been on an HGTV show on cable.
Over the course of a little over 2 months?
2 months.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get a little notepad and you'll just be signing autographs.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Don't hold me against any design decisions I've made, though.
That's awesome. We did well. Happy birthday, Ed.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's really a pleasure to have folks like your entire team. You're just representing here in the studio. Just a phenomenal team of engagement managers and customer success managers. We're proud of all of you. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
My name is Ohad Kushner. I'm Chief Delivery and Customer Officer at GlideFast. I hope you enjoyed this edition of GlideChat with Ed Shea, our VP of Engagement Management. And we hope to see you again on one of our future GlideChats. Take care.
Do you have a topic in mind that you'd like to discuss? Reach out to us at glidefast.com and subscribe to our podcast for new episodes. Thanks for listening.